Okay, this week we're back at home actually, southwest Scotland. We're on a piece of forestry ground. Essentially I don't have a great deal of control over what I do in terms of deer management on forestry land. It's part of the national estate and essentially we're under remit really to the public purse, if you like, to manage the deer, because there's got to be some restocking on there. So essentially this morning we got the machine with us. I wanted to move a little bit of infrastructure around on the ground, protecting some of the sites and just basically moving things that have got a little bit overgrown. So we were multitasking again. Essentially roebucks. I do have an out of season license on here, so I would be permitted to take stags, but I'm particularly concentrating on roebucks this morning. There's been an area where some work's been undergone on a telephone mast, so we've not actually been able to go around that. There was an exclusion zone around it for a while, so now the work's completed. I was sort of keen to get in there early season just to see what the situation was, and it's effectively a hill, a heather hill that kind of emerges out of the forest really. It's a good place for a roe. They like to draw onto that in the morning. So we were in early before first light, cold morning, essentially to see what we could find. Okay, quite tricky that. We've got some blooming sheep up here which caused a problem, so we had to kind of sneak around the sheep. But the dog was indicating really strongly on the back of the hill. She's watching them sheep now. And pulling us over this way, so we got to a high point, and then I could see a roebuck down in right in the corner of the wood. He was just fraying and riding those conifers on the edge. So while every time he kind of moved, we managed to move a little bit. Just use this little conifer here and try and position that between us and the open area below us. It's about 250 yards from back there. So I wanted to get a bit more ground on him. And managed to do that. Getting to here it was tricky actually, because we've got quite high heather, so I had to back off a little bit, and just got a mound here. It just gave me a nice little channel just through the heather to the shot. He was initially just forward on and just nicely turned roadside for us. It's by one of the boxes we've got down in the corner. They're going to do some felling in here shortly, so we've come across this morning with the Argo cat. I'm going to move some of these boxes because they're in the way of the felling operation. We thought we'd have a stoke while we were about it. Best use of time. Just starting on the bucks really now. It's quite a decent buck, but I don't really have much flexibility in here. It's ground that we have to, basically deer in season have to be shot. Beautiful morning again. Stunning view, slightly misty. Quite cold actually as well. I've given that 10-15 minutes to settle down, so I'm just going to go forward now with the dog and find it. Pretty seen where it's dropped. It's in the bushes just in front. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I'm still working on the deer surveillance study. It finishes at the end of this month, I think, actually. So we're just going to continue with the last few samples. Get them off down to Meyer at Public Health England. They're on the little sheeting. They very kindly provide us with very nice grollicking gloves. I'm just going to use one of these trees at the back here just to hang him up and grolic him, and the road's just there, so the vehicle can come right to him. Then we come out with the Argo and just go around and check some of these boxes, start to move them off this site. Patience. Okay, just going through the examination. Mediastinal lymph nodes. I've done the mesenterics in the intestines, portal on the liver. I've done the submandibulars, but I think it'd be fair to say that that was a reasonably well placed shot, because that's the heart, and basically entered centre. So it just amazes me how deer can run. What's that made? 50, 60 yards with that. Amazing. There's a hell of a blood trail runs right in to where it died just there. Good healthy deer, but the one thing about here is I can leave that just to drain off, because the track is literally just there. So I'll leave this cooling in the tree while we do the bits and pieces of maintenance that we've got to do. It's just nicely stiffening up and draining, and then I can come and pop it in the truck when we're finished.